I want to explain to you the structure and the anatomy of a webinar so that you have this framework in your mind so that as we go forward and we build up our webinar layer by layer, it's very clear to you how everything fits in. It's very important that you get this basic structure right, because the key to a successful webinar is to share the information in the right sort of order so that you build up your trust with your audience so that when you're ready to pitch them something at the end, they will be ready to buy because you will have prepared them for that process. There are 7 stages to a webinar, which are actually very straightforward to understand. And once I've laid them out to you, you'll really begin to understand how easy it is to put together great webinars. Stage 1 is what I call the webinar welcome. And this is where you come online maybe as much as 30 minutes beforehand so that you can welcome people as they sign in. And you should try and do that by name and also make it clear to them that they're in the right place. Stage 2 is when the webinar starts. Now, it's really important that you start absolutely bang on time because that sets the tone for the whole webinar. And all you really have to do in this phase is to introduce yourself and your other co-hosts. So this section doesn't last very long at all. Stage 3 is the hook. This is where you tell your audience why they're there, what they're going to get from you, i.e. the WIIFM, what's in it for me, and you maybe give them some sort of extra unannounced bonus, which you tell them they can actually get at the end of the webinar if they hang around for the whole thing, because you want them to stay on and not drop off halfway through. Stage 4 is where you lead them into the teaching. And this is an important phase because you're really getting across why what you're going to share with them is important. Stage 5 is the core content of the webinar. And this is where you actually share some of your very best material because you want to completely blow them away with the quality of the information they're getting and the actionable information that they can take away and apply to their businesses straight away. So you need to make sure there's some really great core value at the center of it. Stage 6 is where you pitch whatever product or services you want to pitch. It could be as simple as getting them to sign up to your mailing list, but I suspect if you're going to the trouble of putting together a 60 to 90 minute webinar, you've actually got something to sell them. This is where you do that. Stage 7 is the Q&A. And it's important that you have this rapport and this to and fro with your audience at this point, so they can ask any questions and they get the benefit of a live event. But don't forget, you can take the opportunity as well to cross-refer back to the products and services that you're selling when you actually answer the question. So those are the 7 stages of the anatomy of a webinar. And if you've got that framework fixed in your mind, then you'll be ready to actually go on and start to create your own webinar.